In 2015, when headlines exploded across the internet announcing that 50 Cent had filed for bankruptcy, most people didn't see strategy. They saw failure. They saw a former rap superstar who once dominated the charts now being reduced to memes, jokes, and public humiliation. And they believed the story was simple. He made millions, he spent millions, and then he lost everything. But what if that story was completely wrong? What if the bankruptcy that looked like the end was actually the beginning of something far more calculated? Because to understand the comeback, you have to understand the mindset of a man who survived 9 bullets before he ever touched 9 figures. Long before the mansions, before the Rolls-Royces, before Hollywood contracts and executive producer credits, Curtis Jackson was navigating the unforgiving streets of South Jamaica, Queens, learning lessons about survival, leverage, and power dynamics that most corporate executives would only discover decades later inside boardrooms. And when he was shot 9 times in 2000, an event that should have ended everything, it did the opposite. Because pain became marketing, survival became mythology, and vulnerability became dominance. Which is exactly why, when he partnered with Eminem and Dr. Dre, the industry wasn't just introducing a new rapper, it was unleashing a character that felt untouchable. Then came Get Rich or Die Tryin, an album that didn't just sell over 10 million copies worldwide, but shifted the culture so aggressively that 50 Cent wasn't merely competing in hip-hop, he was controlling it. But here's where most people misunderstand his story. Music was never the master plan. While other artists were celebrating platinum plaques and buying oversized chains to match oversized egos, 50 Cent was quietly studying ownership, which is why his minority stake in Vitamin Water, a move that looked insignificant at first, reportedly turned into a payday worth up to $200 million when Coca-Cola acquired the company, instantly transforming him from rap superstar into legitimate business heavyweight. At his peak, estimates placed his net worth near $300 million. Private jets, luxury estates, an outrageous 50,000 square foot Connecticut mansion previously owned by Mike Tyson, complete with 21 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, an indoor basketball court, a nightclub, a casino room, and maintenance costs so massive that it felt more like operating a resort than living in a home. From the outside, it looked like unlimited success. But wealth built quickly can disappear just as quickly. Legal battles intensified, lawsuits stacked up, financial obligations multiplied, and in 2015, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The internet declared him finished. But here's the twist. Most people never investigated deeply enough. Chapter 11, bankruptcy is not liquidation, it's reorganization, it's protection, it's negotiation leverage, it's time. And while critics were celebrating what they believed was the fall of 50 Cent, he was already shifting into his most powerful phase. One that didn't rely on radio hits or tour dates, but on ownership, back-end deals, and intellectual property. That phase was called Power, the crime drama series he executive produced for Starz, which became one of the network's most successful and profitable shows, spawning multiple spin-offs, expanding into an entire universe, and creating recurring revenue streams that didn't depend on album sales or streaming algorithms. And this is where the reinvention becomes undeniable, because 50 Cent didn't just star in a show about power. He engineered real power behind the scenes. Executive producer credits mean ownership. Ownership means control. Control means longevity. While many rappers struggle to remain relevant 10 years after their debut, 50 transitioned into a position where his influence extended beyond music and into scripted television, film development, and long-term production contracts. The mansion phase faded. The car collection, Rolls-Royce Phantom, Bentleys, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, armored SUVs, became less about flexing and more about symbolism, because the real flex was now infrastructure, studio development in Houston, multi-project media deals, expanding the power universe, strategic partnerships. He even publicly credited the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene as a key influence in shaping how he views competition, reputation, and leverage, eventually collaborating on the 50th Law, blending street instincts with corporate strategy in a way that perfectly mirrors his own evolution. Fast forward to 2026. His estimated net worth stands around $100 to $120 million lower than his peak, yes, but structurally stronger, diversified, and far more resilient than the fast money of his early career. Television royalties, production contracts, brand investments, alcohol partnerships, film rights, recurring income, not flashy money, strategic money. And maybe that's the biggest transformation of all, because the young 50 Cent built wealth loudly. The modern 50 Cent builds it quietly. He survived gun violence. He survived industry politics. He survived financial collapse in public view. And instead of disappearing, like so many others who fall from the spotlight, he reemerged not as a rapper chasing hits, but as an executive building empires. So the real question isn't whether 50 Cent went bankrupt. The real question is whether bankruptcy was the turning point that forced him into becoming more powerful than ever before. And if history has shown us anything about 50 Cent, it's that he doesn't just survive chaos, he studies it, he leverages it, and then he profits from it. And that might be the greatest comeback in hip-hop business history.